Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Today we've got another speed duel deck profile for you, and this time I wanted to do something that I wasn't sure was going to be very good, but it turned out to be exceptionally fun. I wanted to build a deck around the opposite of Jinzo. I wanted to build it around Spell Cancelers. So this is definitely not going to be played in your, probably not even in your locals. This is probably just going to be you goofing off with some friends and having a great afternoon. So let's go ahead and get you guys that deck profile. First things first, I started off with a Joey skill. I'm just going to attack. It's one of my favorite skills for Joey, and it's more relevant since we are, in fact, trying to eliminate spells from the game. This also gives you a leg up with a continuous once per turn turning off a trap. It helps you against things like Widespread Ruin. We are going to be running 3 copies of Breaker, 3 copies of Spell Canceller, and that's it for the main deck monster cards. That said, you'll see once we start going through the traps. We obviously omitted all the spells, so we're going to start up with a double Adhesion Trap Hole, a double Jar of Greed, a double copy of Mirror Wall, a double copy of Security Orbs. We're going to play 3 copies of Swamp Mirror, and we're also going to play 3 copies Zoma the Spirit. So obviously there's our other 6 monster cards. Let's go over to the fusion / extra deck and then our sideboard real quick. Generically, I'll be playing the single Arcana Knight Joker, double Blue Eyes Ultimate, single Ryu Senshi, double Thousand Eyes Restrict. And over to the sideboard, I just decided to maximize out on Lost Winds and copies of Waking the Dragon. So if you guys were just here for the deck list, I do want to take a second and thank you for watching. Again, if this helps or if this has been amusing for you, and if you aren't already, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Additionally, let your friends know about the channel, and then you guys have a great day. Everybody else, let's just kind of go over why I made these decisions. So first things first, with the skill card, again, during the main phase, you can make one monster you control get a 100 attack until the end of the turn, which is fine. More importantly, during the battle phase, when your opponent activates a trap card, you may negate the effect and reset the card each skill only once per turn. So again, we're here to shut off battle traps as much as possible. Another card that's going to help us manage back row is going to be Breaker. So if he's normal summon, give him the spell counter. He can only hold 1, gains 300 per spell counter on him, and you can remove that to basically MST, destroy 1 spell trap on the field. So that's not terrible. And then Spell Canceller, literally Jinzo's opposite. Spell cards and their effects on the field cannot be activated. Negate all spell effects on the field. And this is going to include field spells as well, obviously. One notable thing, and one thing that definitely came up, I lost every time I played against Jinzo. And it was just natural. Jinzo can play based on just the monsters. But Spell Canceller just can't go toe-to-toe with them. So if they're both on the field, it's going to be just a monster fight, and Spell Canceller will lose that every time. Things that we do to try to help us are all the traps that we're playing. So the Adhesion Trap Holes are my answer to the Floodgate Trap Holes, because number one, these were way easier to pull. And also, we don't flip the monsters back face down. And so just a lot of value, that you're not having to spend. But when your opponent summons a monsters have all of their original attacks. If you were to be playing Floodgate Trap Holes because you have them, in that instance, when they summon the cards, they all go face down, and then if they were placed face down by this card's effect, they cannot actually move from that face down defense afterwards. So, player preference, I prefer to lower the stats. Because I find it easier to beat over them, and if we set some cards face down, like let's say Charging Gaia, when it does move back up, if it does get back face up, like it's going to get its power back. But additionally, like if you put down let's say I'm playing against Dragoncaller, if we put the 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons face down, there's still 2,500 defense. However, if I activate the Adhesion Trap Hold, they're 1,500 attack points, and Spell Canceller can run it. So, that's just why I do it. Jar of Greed, simple, flip, draw 1. Just needed some draw power in the deck. Mirror walls, you don't actually have to pay for these, but you have the attack of your opponent's attacking monsters. Once per turn during the standby phase, you either pay or destroy this. The cost is 2k. You might pay it once. You're definitely not paying it twice. Security orbs, because again, we're going to have so many cards in our back row. It's going to be a real opportunity for the opponent to start taking pot shots at our back row. This one is essentially going to be like our Book of Moon. When the opponent's monster declares an attack, we can change its battle position, so it's more like enemy controller. However, if this set card is destroyed by an opponent's spell trap effect and sent to the graveyard, destroy monster on the field. So again, those night beams that they think that they're not going to get a response out of, well, we just can't activate it in response to. We still will get the secondary effect when it's destroyed. For the trap monsters, we did go with the Swamp Mirror because we wanted some offensive stats. It becomes an 18 by, I believe, 1000. You choose the type and attribute that you want it to be. Again, I chose this over Quantum Cat because it just requires you to play defensively, and since we're already using the Adhesion Trap Holes, we're already using the Mirror Walls, I figured I'd go with the offensive variant. And then, of course, we're running Zomas because, like, I run Zoma in every deck, at least in the side deck. And seeing that I could easily just put him in the deck and maximize at 3, I just wanted to do that. Again, we use this a lot for like Inner Conflict. Special summon this in defense position as an effect monster. It's always considered a trap if this is summon this way and destroyed by battle, inflict damage to the opponent equal to the attack of the monster that destroyed it. So in a lot of cases, this is game against decks like Inner Conflict. And here it's just another good deterrent. Again, the extra deck is still very basic. Guy protects himself. Biggest card in game. Has some protections for himself. Also can stop trap cards. And Restrict is like the best technical monster in the game right now. And then the side deck is just built as generically as possible. Again, I threw the Lost Winds in here for all the machine matchups. You'll see still a lot of like, I think they're just using the Z and the X. No, YZ for the machine union still, and going through with like spell-proof armor, which is fine because they're like, you can't use spells. We don't use spells. And then, of course, we can recycle this. So target a face-up special summon monster on the field, negate its effects. Its original attack is halved. If a monster is special summoned from the opponent's extra deck, while this is in the graveyard, then we can set this card and banish it when it leaves the field. So we can get 2 shots out of this. We're having to target special summon cards. But again, when you're dealing with something like that, it's real good. Plus, we get the halvesies on it. Even better. Waking the Dragon. We're encouraging our opponent to attack our back row so heavily. Might as well maximize this to 3. When this set card has left the field, when this set card in its owner's control has left the field because of an opponent's card effect and is now either in the graveyard or in the banished, you can special summon 1 monster from your deck or your extra deck. A couple times during playtesting, I tried using this and it didn't end up working out so well. I actually went for main deck to get Canceller out, which was fine. It just didn't work as well as I'd hoped. But again, that's why we run all of our fusion monsters in the extra deck. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. I got to get better at responding to the comments again. I noticed that there were a lot of them on there and I hadn't responded in like a video or 2. I'm going to go do all of that while this is being uploaded, and I really do hope that you guys have a great day. So I will see you guys on the next video. Later.